Hello friends and welcome to Malhotra's IAS. So in this video we are going to discuss another very important report that is very relevant for your GS paper 3 for your disaster management topic. So the report we are going to discuss today is the Sendai framework report. Okay, Sendai framework guidelines. So this is basically a report or the guidelines presented by the world bodies with regard to fighting disasters in countries. Okay, so they provide basic guidelines to manage disasters risk all around the world. So it has focused on basically disaster risk reduction for the period of 2015 to 2030. Okay, इससे पहले भी ह्यूगो फ्रेमवर्क आ चुका है. So this is third, इससे पहले भी एक रिपोर्ट आ चुकी है. This is third in the series of these reports and ये reports mainly 15 सालों के लिए दी जाती हैं. So now for the next 15 years we have the Sendai framework to manage the disaster risks around the world. Okay, so that is what the report focuses on, managing the disaster risks that can impact our society, that can have an impact on our economies, that can also create environmental or political instability in the country. So to manage all those risks, this report gives some recommendation. So 4 priority areas have been identified by this report. Okay, we will discuss each one of these in detail. But here in brief it says that we need to first understand the disaster risks, the various kind of disasters and the risks they pose to the humanity. Okay, then we need to strengthen governance to manage those risks, right? We need to invest in resilience building ताकि हम अच्छे से fight कर सके disasters को. So we need to invest in resilience building, and finally we need to build back better even if a disaster happens. Okay, we will discuss each of these in detail to understand better. So the first is understanding the disasters. So there can be various risks that can be posed in a geography. जैसे आप एक इंडिया की example ले लीजिए. India is prone to floods, India is prone to cyclones also. Coastal areas are mainly prone to cyclones, right? These dry areas are prone to droughts. Okay, hilly areas are prone to cloud burst or frost kind of disasters, right? Then we can also see flooding in the Himalayan river areas or your northeast because of the northeast monsoon. So what this report says is that we need to first identify various kind of risks that can be present in a particular geography. ठीक है, अमेरिका के लिए different kind of risks होंगे, इंडिया के लिए ये kind of risks है. तो हमें हर geography के लिए, हर territory के लिए we need to first identify the various kind of risks. Okay, then we need to make policies to prevent those risks from happening. जैसे समझ लीजिए यहाँ ड्रॉट आते हैं राजस्थान में, so why not make some water harvesting infrastructure here? जैसे कि पुराने ज़माने में जो हाथ्स होते थे या वाव्स होते थे, वैसे structures we should create here like ponds, lakes, oases, anything like that, so that we can prevent the occurrence of droughts. Okay, that is the idea of prevention, creating arrangements before a disaster occurs, right? And then we need to remain prepared because it is not always possible to prevent a disaster. Okay, फिर भी हमने कितनी भी तैयारी की हो, there is always a chance to fail. Okay, UPSC में भी यही होता है, we try very hard but there are still chances that we may end up failing. So we need to be prepared for that situation also. We should have a plan B to fight if we fail in our preventive efforts, right? And then we need to implement, we need to give response when a disaster has happened. So that is what is called as the understanding the disaster risks that are present in a geography. Okay, the second priority area of this report is that we need to strengthen disaster risk governance. ठीक है, इसका मतलब क्या है? Government should be prepared enough to meet any disaster. जैसे हम to understand this point better we will take the example of Odisha government. Odisha has done a very good work to manage cyclones. That is a reoccurring डिज़ास्टर इन ओडिशा. हर साल एक दो साइक्लोन बड़े लेवल के उड़ीसा में आते हैं. सो टू प्रिवेंट हैवी इकोनॉमिक और सोशल लॉसेस, उड़ीसा ने बहुत सारी अपनी गवर्नेंस को बहुत स्ट्रॉन्ग किया है. सो इट हैज़ the state disaster response force, and I should tell you that India में only 4 states have created such state disaster response force and Odisha being one of them. Okay, so उड़ीसा ने disasters को manage करने के लिए सबसे पहले ये institutional arrangement सेटअप किया है. Then it is also training its state police to fight the disasters better. Okay, then thirdly it's also set up the community kitchens. Okay, so whenever there is cyclone, people are taken to the shelters, the safe places before the happening of a cyclone. Through the use of early warning system, people are taken to shelters. There we have community kitchens. They have, I mean, community kitchens that provide food to the people. Here trained panchayat members lead the people and help them get shelter, food and all the rescue material. Okay, panchayat is also involved in this process of disaster management, right? Then the volunteers from the community are also trained to participate in disaster management. So see, this is the entire governance procedure that Odisha has used. Okay, so you see, because of the effective measures that Odisha has taken, even UN recognized the achievements of Odisha and its disaster management model, after Amphan cyclone. Okay, so even US ने इसको सराहा है. That is the level of governance that we want from each state and even our national government to better manage the disasters and the risks that they pose to our country. That is what is being said in this priority area. Okay, now the report says that we need to invest some money in reduction efforts also, and to reduce the risk of the disaster happening in a country. Okay, so that is what it says कि जैसे अब आप एग्जाम्पल ले लीजिए, अगर हमें पता है केरला में डैम फेलियर होने की पॉसिबिलिटी इज हाई, देन व्हाई नॉट इन्वेस्ट इन डैम मैनेजमेंट, व्हाई नॉट पुट सम मनी इन क्रिएटिंग बेटर टेक्नोलॉजी दैट कैन हेल्प अस मैनेज द डैम्स वेल. ओके, सो दोज काइंड ऑफ इन्वेस्टमेंट्स हैव टू बी मेड. फॉर एग्जाम्पल हिल साइड्स पे आप एफोरेस्टेशन पे इन्वेस्टमेंट कीजिए सो दैट द पॉसिबिलिटी ऑफ लैंडस्लाइड्स इज रिड्यूस्ड. राइट, ऐसे ही आप डिजर्ट या ड्रॉट प्रोन एरिया में वाटर हार्वेस्टिंग इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर पे इन्वेस्टमेंट कीजिए. सो दैट इज व्हाट द थर्ड प्रायोरिटी एरिया इज, टू इन्वेस्ट in such infrastructure that can help us reduce the disaster possibility. ठीक है, डिजास्टर हो ही ना, इस तरीके से हमें प्लानिंग एंड इन्वेस्टिंग करनी है. राइट, and the final priority area of the report is that even if a disaster happens, after all the preparation and all the efforts, then we should have such mechanism to build back better. Okay, so our response and rehabilitation facilities should be very robust. ठीक है, लोगों को जल्दी से रेस्क्यू किया जाए whenever they are caught in a disaster, then they are rehabilitated, they are provided shelter, food for temporary time, and then they are rehabilitated to permanent their houses, their places when they are well settled after the occurrence of the disaster. So that is what the third रिकमेंडेशन और द फाइनल आई मीन फोर्थ पॉइंट इज. सो जैसे केरला को फाइनेंशियल सपोर्ट दी गई थी सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट के द्वारा सो दैट दे कैन बिल्ड बैक बेटर आफ्टर दैट flooding happened in Kerala at that time. Even NGOs and civil society helped Kerala rebuild or build back really better. International support भी थी, civil society की भी support थी. So that is the idea of building back better, that even if disaster happens, we are able to recuperate in response to that disaster in a managed way. So that was all about this report. This is very useful for you, your GS paper 3 disaster management pe they always ask a question. Even in public administration optional they ask question on disaster management, so you can use this report in both those areas and even in your ethics case studies also. So please make a note of all the 4 key points of this report and use them wisely. Thank you so much for watching.